Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupananda Gauri Guruvarga ki jai, Pati Pavan, Shri Nityan Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Madhav Titi Ekadashi ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Madhav Titi Ekadashi ki jai. Radhe Radhe Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas. That includes the male and female Vaishnavas. I don't know if it's proper to say Vaishnavi or not. So if you can give me the proof of that, then I will start to do so. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Sri Gaudiya Giti Guccha, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvekam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Ladita Shri Vishakhanvikamshta Om Ajnanatimirambhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Guna Ishtayuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami Vidanninam Bhakta Shiromanincha Shri Krishna Pada Jivitaita Vidhi Chaitanya Lila Vrita Sarasar Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauramani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtadhya Deshatarine Namah Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव इति नामिने अतीमर्त्यक्षरित्राय स्वश्रितानां च पानिने जीवदुःखे सदर्ताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दैने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमध्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिदा श्रीगौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दिनपालिने रूपानुगम्यरुधापो सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे पदम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गो मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वत्पदम्बोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठानिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारमुभिः मम शिव ततस्थितः कर्षन्देनुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णा भक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपं रूपस्वरूपकम् भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहागावग्निर्वापनम् श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकानितरणं विद्यामधुजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् हरेर्नाम हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामेव केवलम् कलो नास्त्येव 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 गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। पेज 360। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके गुरुदेव कृपा मुझको अपना लेना।
Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavatamrita Guruvarga ki jai, Srila preceptors ki jai. O He Vaisnava Thakur, Doyara Sagar, Edase Kuruna Kori. Page 39. And if you don't have a songbook, is Jiva Pavana Prabhu there?
Yes.
Dandava Pranam Prabhu.
Dandava Pranam.
And Jiva Pavana Prabhu very kindly posts the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. So if you just scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, you will find the bhajan there with his translations and sometimes amazing, awesome commentaries of our acharyas. So you can follow along with us. Vaishnava Thakur Doyaru Sagar Vedase Karuna Kori O He Vaishnava Jai Jai Nityananda Rohini Kumar. Page 64 in the songbook.
Jai Jai Nityananda Rohini Kumar.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Come गौरांग बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीर हरि हरि बोलिते नयने भावे near. I think it's page 86. Yes, 86. And if you don't have a songbook, just scroll to Jiva Pavan Prabhu's latest post and you will find the bhajan there. Gauranga bolite have pulaka sharir. Gora Jai
Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajana Anukuru. What page is that?
It would be on page 216. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu 216.
We're going to do the other two.
I can just play chords. You do it. It's nice for everyone to hear new tunes. Just do it.
Shuddha Bhakatam Charanarenu Bhajanaya Bye.
Madhuriti Ekadashi ki jai. Getting some cool there? Shoikeva Shunailo Shyamanam. Page 183 by Sri Chandidas. Soi Keva Shunailo Shyamanam. Keva Shunaile Shyamanam. It's only because it says it in the book like this, but we used to say Shunaile and Krishna Das.
Krishnadas and Tamal Krishna Prabhu would say
Keva Shunaile Shyamana. Keva Shunaile Shyamana.
female-ish form of it.
Keva Shunaile Shyamana Aso Keva Shunaile Shyamana Keva Shunaile Shyamana Keva Shunaile Keva Shunaile Shyamana Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite, page 341, I believe. So, last night we received the message from Damayanti of Perth, Australia, who's also helping to manage and run the Golden Avatar Foundation School in Navadvip Dham, that her father passed away from this world. And he's been in a state of departure for some time now. And so, we have heard from our Gurudev and our Guru Varga that one of the best things for anyone is if someone else offers prayers on their behalf, because it is selflessly giving. So when we would do parikrama, our Gurudev would say that we can also share that benefit with others. We've seen so many times in history, in Shastra, that when someone observes Ekadashi, for example, they can give the benefit of that Ekadashi.
Srila Gurudev Maharaj would say, I give the benefit of 1 second of sadhu sangha.
The benefit of 1 second of sadhu sangha. What is the value of a moment's association with the sadhu? And really, what is our process? Really, our process is someone who has connection praying on our behalf for our benefit. That is really what our process is. They're telling us to observe and do the activities of sadhana, but by itself, on our own, we don't have that strength. By their grace and mercy, we have that strength. So, I want to request all of you that as we are chanting Hare Krishna, of course chanting Hari Nam is for the pleasure of Krishna. But what is also pleasing to Krishna? When we bring any soul toward Him to engage in His service. So we can pray for her father that may that Atma make rapid progress toward its ultimate perfection, which is loving service to Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणेति नामिने। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनेति नामिने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च Patitanang pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim, yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad, astottara Shri Srimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad, astottara Shri Srimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of those who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So today, we are observing Ekadashi. So I'll speak a little bit about Ekadashi, also something about this rare, valuable human form of life, something about the value of being a devotee or aspiring for devotion to the Lord and being connected to anyone in this world, something about going beyond Vaikuntha, and something about freedom. I just need to save one thing. Oh no. Okay. So, I don't know if Karuna Mai is there. If you're not there yet, if you are, she posted a beautiful quote. I believe it was today, and I would request if you can post it in this thread. From Bhaktivedanta Thakur's Tattva Vivek. If you don't or can't, maybe someone else can. So, Madhav Titi Ekadashi Ki Jai. Today is Indira Ekadashi. Here we are observing Ekadashi according to the local calendar in Sri Vrindavan Dham, as instructed by our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I know every Ekadashi which comes around, we tell it, and we tell it again and again and again. But there is some kind of magic that happens when we hear something again and again. It begins to create an impression, samskar. Our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj once explained samskar in a very interesting way. He said, if you are lowering a bucket into a well, and the well is lined with stone, over time, even though the rope is very soft, that rope will make a groove. And that groove will be a permanent groove, due to the rope being lowered and pulled up again and again and again over time. In the same way, when we hear something again and again and again, as we have heard from Srila Prabhupada, from our Gurudev, from Srila Govinda Maharaj, and all of our Guru Varga, and all of our Shastras, they reiterate some of the same points again and again in so many different ways, so that deep impressions are manifest within us. One of those deep impressions that we as aspiring devotees or devotees need to develop is faith in and deep respect and honor for Madhava Titi, the days of the Lord, like Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Ram Navami, etc. So Ekadashi, as we have heard previously, is the manifestation or a manifestation of the intense compassion of Krishna. She manifested as a form, or you can say the non-form, of his mercy in the aspect of time, or a day, a period of time known as Ekadashi Titi. That is a transcendental time period, wherein if one honors that time period in the same way that they honor Krishna when it is time for arati, or when you're offering bhoga, or when you are dressing them, we take care and time for Krishna. So if we understand that Krishna's mercy has manifested in the form of this time period, and respect it accordingly, then bhakti can be awakened in our heart. How? Bhakti Janani. Already we have the seed of that, but by observing and following Ekadashi, Jatane Palana Kori, very, very carefully, with deep attention, with respect, with honor, the same as we will for Krishna, then this seed inside can open, can sprout, and the birth of devotion, the birth of the desire to serve Krishna can begin to manifest in our heart. Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori Krishna Vasati. Krishna resides within this day. Of course, we know that He resides within every day, but still He's giving extra special incentive. Extra special incentive. You know, when you go to school, it's not every single day that you get the same opportunity. Sometimes there's a test. And on the test days, anyone who does really well, or even gets, I remember when even in university, they said, whatever grade you get on this test, you will get in the class. So I spaced out the rest of the entire semester. But just before that test, for 3 days and 3 nights straight, I crammed and practiced and learned and studied, and I ended up getting a B on that test. I would have completely failed it, but a special opportunity was given. If you do good on this one, you will get whatever grade you get. So Ekadashi is like that. Ekadashi for us is a shortcut, special opportunity. Whatever you do for bhakti, which is favorable for the awakening of your bhakti on this day, is multiplied thousands of times. So if we have any genuine greed to move forward on the path of devotion, then we will take any opportunity to maximize the benefit of any practice of bhakti that we do. If we have any genuine greed, then we will maximize it anyway. Right? Today, if you invest your money in the stock market, you will only make 1%. But if you do it on Ekadashi, you will make 1,000%. So if you make 1,000%, then if you put $1 in, you'll get 10 back. Sorry about that. 1,000%. Anyhow, it's different. 1,000 times is different. 1,000 times is like 100,000%, isn't it? This mathematics, but anyhow, 1,000 times the benefit. Anyone would be foolish to not take advantage of the opportunity that Krishna is giving. And it isn't considered to be mundane or material or selfish, if it is to increase devotion for Krishna. Sometimes devotees have had this understanding or derived this understanding from the verse in Bhagavatam, Ahaitaki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The supreme occupation for all humanity is to develop bhakti for Krishna. Yato bhakti radhokshaje ahaitaki apratihata. Ahaitaki means it is causeless, and apratihata means without cessation. If you want to completely satisfy the self, meaning the supreme self and also the individual jiva self. Both atmas, Paramatma and Jivatma. So some have understood or misunderstood that causeless means, oh, there's no cause for it, so why should I make any endeavor whatsoever? Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj and so many of our Guru Varga have explained it doesn't mean that there's no cause. It means there's no material cause. No material cause. There's nothing that we can do in this material world through material means that can cause the arising of bhakti in our lives. No amount of marching, no amount of screaming, no amount of wearing masks or not wearing masks, no amount of any of that do good work of this world. Janmakoti shukrataya nalabhyate. Millions of lifetimes of doing good things in this world, just the good things, even in sattva gun, the mode of goodness, cannot give one the qualification for Krishna bhakti. What can give it? Only intense, greedy desire. And that intense greedy desire is a function of the association of pure devotees. By being in their association, we will develop greed in our heart like they have to serve Krishna. And that is also by observing those practices which they observe and also instruct us to observe, like Ekadashi. So, Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam jadikatopi labhyate tatra lolyam apimulyam ekalam janma koti shukritarna labhyate. All of the activities that one performs, if it is not for Krishna bhakti, one, Bhagavatam says, it's all like hard, useless labor. If it doesn't bring about an attraction for hearing Harikatha of Krishna. I'm referencing another verse in Bhagavatam based on this verse, Krishna Bhakti. Janma koti shukritarna labhyate. This verse in Bhagavatam is saying something similar. Notpadyam jarinatim shrama eva hi kevalam. All of the activities, dharma svanushtita, all of the dharmic activities that one does in this world, if it is not for that purpose, is considered hard, useless labor. And I'm only quoting Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, because so many have so many different feelings about so many things. And as a representative of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, then my duty is not to represent, I think, I feel, I believe this, then, maybe, whatever. It is to represent Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Whatever they have given, then we represent that. So Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam. The root cause of Krishna bhakti rasa's manifestation or awakening is the intense greedy desire to have it. Which means there is a motivation. There must be a motivation. What is my goal and what is the process to attain it? And how can I attain it in the fastest, best, clearest way possible? So when we reference back to that verse in Bhagavatam, there's no cause or it is causeless. It means there is no material cause. There's definitely a reason. There is a cause, and that cause is the association of the pure devotees and the practices, the observances which they give us, which increase within our heart an intense, greedy desire to have it, so much so that we cannot eat, sleep, or do anything without desiring to attain that goal, which is loving service to Krishna. Therefore, there is no fault in it because it is not selfish. It is only for the happiness, the pleasure, and the benefit of Krishna. And this is what following and observing and honoring days like Ekadashi can do for us. To retract our senses from all of the mundane things of this world and to focus it on those things, those activities which will increase our thirst for Krishna Seva. This is the potency of observing these days under the guidance of sadhus. Otherwise, we can observe Ekadashi and we can obtain so many material results. I believe I've spoken this before. If Ekadashi is the form of the mercy of Krishna and is non-different from Krishna, and Harinam is a form of Krishna, non-different from Krishna, then how we approach Ekadashi and how we approach Harinam and how we approach Krishna will have its reciprocal effect. As Krishna guarantees in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatamam prapadyante tamsta taiva bhajamyaham. As you approach me, I reciprocate accordingly. So if we approach Harinam Prabhu with a mood that I am yours, please engage me in your service, then the result of that Harinam, that serving or chanting of Harinam, will be the awakening of devotional service in our hearts for Krishna. Otherwise, as our Gurudev has said, as all of our Shastra has said, if we don't have an intention and we're approaching Harinam only for the purpose of enjoying Harinam, some slight effect might be there, but it can take a very long time. But we will see the result of namaparad, which will be the increase of material wealth, the increase of material sense enjoyment, and the increase of name, fame, position, pride, power, and all of that. Very easily these things can manifest, these other weeds, if we don't have a goal and a focus. Same with Ekadashi. Gurudev said, if we don't observe Ekadashi for the purpose of awakening Krishna Bhakti, the tendency to serve Krishna in our hearts, for that purpose of serving and pleasing Krishna, then it can become reward-seeking activity, which is not included within pure bhakti. Right? Bhakti Uttama is devoid of karma, reward-seeking activity. Reward-seeking activity means, I'm going to observe this day, and what's the result of that? If you read in these different books and places in Puranas, this Mahatmya, that thing, the Ekadashi book, which was published, which is based on the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, our Gurudev said that he told that devotee, don't publish that. It's not going to be favorable, it's not within our line, and it's going to create some disturbances. After that, that devotee who published it actually subsequently fell away from the path of devotion. Because to present things to the Vaishnava community which are not in line with increasing their devotion, this is actually aparad, to distract the attention of devotees from the path of devotion to Krishna. It is against affection, actually, truly, seriously. That's why Gurudev would say, don't come to the Dham, don't come to Kartik with the intention of trying to attract a mate. They want to come here to focus on Krishna, to hear Harikatha, to be in the association of Vaishnavas, to be in the shower of mercy of Sri Guru, and to progress in bhakti, and you want to come in and distract them and take them for yourself. This is actually aparad to that jiva. It's jiva hingsa, violence to that jiva. So he would say, don't come for these purposes. And he would be very heavy when he would say it again and again and again. Of course, so many didn't listen to that, but that's what he was telling. So in the same way, on this day, Ekadashi, this day is like Krishna is bathing us from all sides in some kind of transcendental embrace. The material energy is diminished and the spiritual energy is increased, by which, if we serve Ekadashi for the purpose of increasing bhakti, then the result will be that bhakti janani. Bhakti will be born in our hearts, or will increase. That bhakti lata, the creeper of loving devotion for Krishna, will grow more and more by the mercy of Krishna, who is manifesting in a much more condensed way to us in the form of Ekadashi. So I just wanted to share that. In that connection, did anyone post that? Let me just check really quick here. Okay. So, 2 days ago, Karunamai Beckman, of Vancouver posted a beautiful quote by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur from Bhakti Tattva Vivek. Means discriminations, or how to understand Bhakti Tattva. So regarding what we were just speaking about, he says, ignorance is the root cause of all of the difficulty experienced by the jiva. What is ignorance? Starting with the original one, Swarup Brahm, means I become ignorant of who I am in relation with the Supreme Lord. I'm ignorant of that. And from that, then all other anarthas, all other aparads, all other difficulties, all problems start to manifest. That's the root cause. Ignorance is the root cause of all of the difficulty experienced by the jiva. Gurudev was speaking about that yesterday in this treasure manual about attacking. Guru goes to the root. He understands the root cause of all of our difficulties. He doesn't just treat the symptom, he actually goes to the root cause. So ignorance is the root cause of all of the difficulty experienced by the jiva. Besides bhakti, no other process. Besides bhakti, no other process is capable of eliminating this ignorance. Besides bhakti. Karma can only destroy sins. So the path of karma kanda is for destroying sins. And jnana, or knowledge, can destroy at the root the desires that cause both sin and piety. But bhakti totally eradicates at the root the sins themselves, the desires to perform both sin and piety, and the prime cause of these desires, which is ignorance. So even through the process of karma and jnana, you cannot eliminate the prime cause of the problems itself. It's kind of like addressing the symptoms. The process of karma and jnana is like giving paracetamol or Tylenol for your headache, not realizing that your headache is due to malaria. So you need some other medicine, not just to cover the pain. Right? If anyone has ever had back pain and you take medicine, suddenly your back feels great, so you start walking around and doing activities that you shouldn't really be doing, but you feel okay. And then you hurt yourself more because you haven't addressed the issue, the heart of the issue. What is the problem? It might actually be a ruptured disc. I know what that feels like, unfortunately. So, with this quote here, it's very, very powerful. Only bhakti will totally eradicate the root cause and naturally all of these secondary symptoms. But the process of jnana and karma cannot do it. And that includes all of the mundane processes that we take in this world to be important. They cannot eradicate the root cause. Because they cannot eradicate the root cause, then it is only going to increase samsara. And this is something that we need to really consider deeply. All of the material problems and their material solutions, it is literally like a fly in a web. As it turns over to try to avoid the ensnaring of the web from one side, it invariably sticks itself on the other side. And then it spins again and again and again and again and again, and it literally binds itself hopelessly. And then the spider of death, of Maya or whatever, can just come, wrap you up a little more, and literally drain you of all of your vitality. This is what happens in this material world. And there's only one way out. Well, first I'm going to say, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvang sarva papebhyo moksha. Krishna says, forget all of these other temporary, mundane ideas of religion and follow the supreme religion, which is Bhagavatamrita or Sanatan Dharma. What is that? Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Surrender unto me, and I will free you from the results of all of your sinful reactions. So he says, aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha. Moksha means liberation, freedom. Tvam sarva papebhyo, all sins and everything. If you surrender to Krishna. But what does surrender to Krishna really mean? It means to approach Krishna with the mood of bhakti. We know that this verse is not considered the highest verse in Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhavanad bhakto is. However, it's very, very powerful and important in this case. That all of the activities that one is doing in this world, if it is not for the purpose of serving and pleasing Krishna, if it doesn't awaken attraction within our hearts to Krishna, then what is the result of it? Destination, unknown. So what is the process, especially in this age, for surrendering to Krishna? Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. There's no other way to attain that perfection or to awaken that devotion other than taking shelter of and serving Krishna's names, Krishna's forms, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes. Why am I saying names, forms, qualities, and pastimes? Because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and our Guru Varga have explained that there is no difference between Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Therefore, when we say Hari Nam, it is not just the name, it is also all of those other non-different manifestations. The name himself is non-different from the person himself. Abhinatva Nama Namino. So this name, within that name, there are unlimited forms. Harinam Atuva Aneka Swarupa. Amala Harinam Amya Vilasa. Within his holy names, all of his transcendental pastimes are also present. There are so many benefits that one can achieve by taking shelter of the names of Krishna. The complete eradication of all material problems, all suffering, the blazing forest fire of material existence and everything like that. But even then the devotee is not praying for all of that. The devotee only prays, may I be your servant. Without any mundane reason, only for your pleasure, for your service, for your happiness, birth after birth. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhaktira Hoitiki Tvaye. So, when Krishna says, Aham Tvang Sarva Papebhyo Moksha, what is real freedom? Because these days we're hearing a lot about freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. Anyone who has studied anything to do with bhakti, coming in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through our Guru Varga, will know and will understand that freedom is not possible in the material world unless one actually takes shelter of the pure devotees of Krishna and engages in the process of bhakti, or awakening devotion for Krishna. Then one will attain true freedom because they will be in alignment with the nature of their Atma, which is to love and serve Krishna. Otherwise, all other ideas of freedom in this world are simply illusion. It's just being played on by the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. We will become free from one thing and bound by the next. That's the way it is. As we are being bound, we're still being played by the material energy. How do we become free? By surrendering to Krishna. Daiviheshu gunamayi mama maya durakteya. My maya is extremely difficult to overcome. Only one who surrenders unto me can easily cross beyond it. How to surrender? That needs to be under the guidance of his pure devotees. The first form of Krishna to manifest in our life, Guru Krishna. And by the mercy of Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Abich, the tendency to serve Krishna is awakened in our hearts. So all of this other stuff is actually cheating religion. It is Kaitava Dharma. And I can very strongly say that because Bhagavatam says it right from the get-go. Dharma projita Kaitava trapparamo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastamamatra vastu shivadam tapuntrayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimbaparai Ishvara Sadyo Hridyavaduddhate Trat Prithibis Shushrushibis Takshanat. What will make Krishna appear in the heart? This is real Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma. All other kinds of processes which don't bring about that awakening, of Krishna and our love for Krishna, God realization, self-realization, and the nature of our relationship with Krishna, this is labeled as Kaitava Dharma, or cheating religion. Why is it cheating? Because it is stealing our time. It is stealing our energy. It is stealing our shraddha. It is stealing our mind, our intelligence, and it can bind us and will bind us in this world of temporary dualities. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Matra sparshas kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nitya stang statikshashva bharata. All of these things which are coming, they're due to sense perception. All of the happiness and the distress and all of these things of the material world, the dualities, is due to sense perception. One should understand that this is all temporary by nature. And Krishna says, one should learn to tolerate it without being disturbed. Only then can Krishna manifest in one's heart. Shokamarshadibhirbhava, with all of these distresses, lamentation, anger, frustration, so much suffering and concern and involvement in the workings of the material world. And Krishna cannot reside there. It won't be a soft, cool, sweet, beautiful kunja. Rather, it will be a burnt out, like now California and Oregon, burnt out place without any fragrance, without any sweetness. So how do we create a sweet kunja in our hearts so that Radha and Krishna will want to come play there? That will only manifest in the association of those who know how to serve Radha and Krishna, how to decorate that kunja and make it a beautiful place where Radha and Krishna can play. And that is due to the association of our Gurudev, our Guru Varga, those who have that mood, that knowledge, and that experience of how to serve Krishna. They look inside and they see, my God, it is full of trash, garbage, it is burnt out. But luckily for us, they see our potential and they're not unwilling to go to work and clean it out. Gurudev said that Bhakti Devi comes in to our heart and begins cleaning it out. First, prema bhakti jaha hoite, then avidya vinasha jate. Prema bhakti comes first in the form of shraddha, of paramartik shraddha, transcendental faith, by which gradually all ignorance, all problems, everything is eradicated from the root. Means all of it will be gone. That's why Mahaprabhu says, Bhava Mahadavagni. Everything, the entire blazing ocean of material existence, this Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, completely will be extinguished. And in its place, Anandam Buddhivattanam Pratipadam, nectar at every step, complete transcendental nectar of Krishna Bhakti Rasa, of loving service to Krishna, will be awakened in the heart. Destination unknown, I said that because Prahlad Maharaj says that in Srimad Bhagavatam to his friends. So, now, I just wanted to speak about that in terms of freedom, because these ideas of freedom come up. And they're nice ideas, they're good ideas from a material perspective. But from a transcendental or spiritual perspective, they are not really freeing. They're still bound within the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, which are playing on us. So what is real freedom? What is real mukti? What is real liberation, so to speak? Real freedom only manifests when we come into realization of who I am. That means we're no longer in ignorance of who we are. We're no longer in ignorance of who our Lord is, and we are no longer in ignorance of what our relationship with the Lord is. So this freedom comes in relation with the association of the pure devotees And that freedom, although it is freedom from material bondage, meaning it frees us from Maya Sangsar. How do you become free from Maya Sangsar? The bondage of material illusion? By entering into Krishna Sangsar. Although it is like eternal servitude, because it is, in essence, the nature of the soul to love and serve Krishna, then that is true freedom. True freedom means when you are flowing with your nature. So I'll revert back to Jaiva Dharma, chapter 1. When water is trapped due to extreme cold and manifests as ice, its nature of flowing is trapped and stuck. And that is compared to this material world. Our nature is to flow forever with love and affection toward the ocean of Krishna. But due to association with the material energy since time immemorial, I believe Srila Prabhupada said that in his speech, he was on the Hare Krishna mantra, we have acquired some artificial imposition. And so to break out of this artificial imposition and attain our state, our natural state of free-flowingness toward Krishna with love and affection, that is considered freedom. And how do we come out of that state? We require something powerful, and that is the torch of transcendental knowledge that Sri Guru comes and melts us with. So our heart needs to melt so that it can flow toward Krishna, and that melting comes by hearing from the mouth of the pure devotees the sweet pastimes of Krishna. So then our hearts will melt and we will flow, we will rush spontaneously toward that ocean, Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of transcendental nectar, which is Krishna. Dandavad Pranam. So now we will continue going beyond Vaikuntha. Turn what down?
It's freezing.
Sorry, let's turn the fan down. Okay. Before entering into this treasure, which is a manifestation of the heart of our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and also the heart of Sri Sanatan Goswamipada in the form of Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we will pray to them in the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairag Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Apayana Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Budirya Paraduk Duki Sanatanasvam Prabhum Ashrayami. Praying in the dust of their lotus feet, that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest within our hearts. So our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj was telling that Sri Guru, because he is Tattvadarshi, he is a knower, a seer of, and a practical experiencer of the truth. Right? Krishna says in that verse, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshayanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj explained what is tattva. It doesn't just mean foundational, truthful ideas or sentiments. He said, who is a knower of the truth? And what is the truth? Advai Gyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. The supreme, non-dual, absolute truth is Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. That Krishna is Tattva. So Srila Gurudeva Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and our Gurudeva and all Sudevi, someone's next door.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know who it is.
I'm going. Oh, Maharaji? Okay, thank you.
Is it locked?
It's locked?
Okay, dear. We have to be aware of these things. So, tattva. Krishna's Swarup Vichar, Shuno Sanatan, Advait Gyan Tattva, Braje Brajendra Nandan. The supreme non-dual absolute truth is Krishna of Vrindavan. So our Guru Varga have explained that really Tattvadarshi means someone who is practically experiencing their relationship with that absolute truth. This is a Tattvadarshi, and because they are experiencing that relationship, because they have that, they can awaken that within us. Our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj again and again and again, hundreds and hundreds of times, has said that only someone who possesses something can give that thing to you. So only if you need $100, then you need to approach someone who has that. Otherwise, they cannot give it to you. If you want bhakti, if you want bhav, if you want prem, if you want to awaken that love for Krishna, then approach someone who has that and they can awaken that within your heart. So, Sri Guru can perfectly see the nature, the swarup of the jiva, what is present within already, and then he can direct us accordingly. He will know what is our pitfall, what kind of difficulties we've had, what holds us back, what will help us progress. Maybe we will need to do something which might cause us to back up a little bit and then jump forward. For example, there was one devotee who was chanting 16 rounds every single day, very rapidly. He wasn't initiated, and he wasn't really chanting them properly or nicely. When Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaja initiated him, he told him, you should chant 4 rounds every day. And he said, but I'm chanting 16 rounds every day for the last 10 years. And he said, I want you to chant 4, but with great care and attention. And then gradually, after some time, you can increase. So this might seem like a step back, but actually it's diving deep. It's a very different thing. So sometimes we don't understand what's going on or why, but when we look at it from a greater or deeper perspective, then we can understand that by the grace of Guru, they can see what we need in order to be able to progress, and they will engage us accordingly so that we can begin to flow properly with the proper mood of loving service to Krishna. So here, Srila Gurudev said, the defects that Narada will point out to Gopkumar are actually within us. So this is something that we should look at and see, how does this apply to myself? When we see all of the activities of the all-perfect personalities, in Srimad Bhagavatam even, in so many different places, actually what they're performing is Leela, and they're teaching us. Arjuna was never really in a state of confusion, but Krishna, by Krishna's Yoga Maya potency, he was able to manifest that state of confusion for our benefit. And therefore I was asking so many questions and revealing so many doubts. We've seen also Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, so many, revealing so many doubts. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was clearing those doubts. They're asking those questions for the benefit of the world. So when Gurudev is saying this is actually true. That these things are actually within us. And when we make a sincere effort to eliminate these defects, then we will really be engaging in bhajan. You can take it that real bhajan will be coming soon. So if we're just doing positive things but not making any endeavor to also eliminate the negative, then it might not be that we are actually following the process properly. As I mentioned yesterday, there are so many different stages of bhakti. Ado shraddha tata sadhu sangatta bhajana kriya tato narta nivritti syat tato nishta ruchishtata. So from that bhajana kriya, when one is doing the positive activities which are favorable for bhakti, then one must also be doing the anartha nivritti. Means also eradicating those things which are unfavorable for bhakti. When you make a vow to accept what is only favorable, then naturally you must also make the vow that I will avoid what is unfavorable. This is called anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. Both must come hand in hand, otherwise they cannot be said to, or one cannot be said to actually be doing what is truly favorable. So now, Srila Gurudev is quoting the verse from Brihad Bhagavatamrita 24194. Uh-oh, we got a question from Natalie Kielman. Uh-oh. And from Devaki. So is it better to chant 4 rounds attentively rather than 16 inattentively? And should this be done only on the order of Sri Guru? Absolutely. If Sri Guru has instructed you to do 16, and then you should do 16. But Sri Guru can also adjust that. Actually, it's more important to chant 1 syllable with purity than it is to chant millions and millions of namaparad, or offensive names. 1 Shuddhanam, even 1 syllable. Gurudev would always say, we know that Haridas Thakur chanted 3 lakhs, that's 192 rounds every day. And purely. But no one knows how many rounds Rupa Goswami chanted, because 1 ha, Gurudev would say, just that syllable, half of the name Hare, ha, and immediately he would be absorbed in his internal service to Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. So how high is the chanting of Rupa Goswami? So it's definitely much more about the quality than the quantity. Quality is essential. If we just do quantity, we might never attain any destination. But if we do even 1 little bit of quality, then it can be said to be bhakti. I just read a beautiful quote from Srila Prabhupada, who posted that. Vrindavan Vilasini sent it yesterday. Let me find it very quickly, hopefully I can. She posts so much that I'm getting drowned in all of this nectar, but hopefully I can find what she shared yesterday. Okay. Here. Srila Prabhupada, daily quote. A musician, because one has got good attachment for music, he tries to perform it nicely. So love is the basis. Right? If you love that thing, then you will do it to the best of your ability. Similarly, when you serve Krishna, if you have no love for Krishna, you cannot serve him very nicely. And Krishna also does not accept your service if it is not done in great love and affection. So this is an important point. If it's not done with great love and affection, then it won't attract him to come and accept it. So it is definitely more essential and more important to go deep and to make that connection. It's not saying that we should not also do the other chanting. Sudevi, can you share what Gurudev told you?
You go ahead, Kishori. I'm not dressed properly.
So Srila Gurudev told Sudevi at the time of initiation, that she should chant her required amount of Harinam. And he started her with 32 rounds a day, which means, he only started me with 16. So that means somebody's more qualified. But he told her, but take half an hour every day. Half an hour is about 4 rounds, but it can be less. It depends on one's depth of absorption. Half an hour every day, and go into a closet, any place where no other eyes can see you. Only you, your Harinam Mala, your Gurudev and Harinam Prabhu. And there you should chant, weeping, Hare Krishna, Ha Gurudev, calling out for the mercy of your Gurudev and chanting Hare Krishna. He said, only half an hour like this every day. And he said, this will be like chanting, this will be more than chanting lakhs and lakhs of Harinam. And this is service to me. Lakhs means 64 and 64 and 64. Lakhs and lakhs means many times that. This depth of mood, he never told her don't complete your required amount, but of that, try to give some time focused in your relationship with Guru and Krishna, taking shelter of Gurudev and crying to Krishna, where no one else is going to judge you. Especially when you're married, or you have kids. It means family. Family's around, and family always knows every detail about family members. They know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so it's very easy to judge. If someone starts feeling even a little inkling of some kind of spiritual spark, a desire to serve, they're like, seen that one before. Yep, there she goes again. Or there he goes again with his false enthusiasm. Boom, your inspiration is shattered in a moment. So take that private time, that closet space. You, your Harinam Mala, Harinam Prabhu, and your Gurudev. Call out to your Gurudev. Cry, he said, Ha Gurudev, with tears in your eyes. And chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Half an hour. If only one round comes in that half an hour, no harm. It will be the deepest chanting that we have ever done. And then the rest of it we can do at another time. So I hope I've been able to answer that question. And if there is an adjustment to the amount, that should only be under the guidance of Diksha Guru or that Shiksha Guru who is a non-different manifestation of the Diksha Guru. If we have that full faith in them, that they might need to adjust us so that we can actually make progress. Not to limit our chanting down to 4 so that we can be more lazy, but so that we can become much more focused. And then, Natalie, what is this 16 to 4 rounds? Maybe not to say his nonsense depends on the practitioner, then near Guru using his Guru Shakti. When the Guru is gone, same question, what does the practitioner want? Not to criticize the 16 rounds process. So this devotee was not previously initiated. He had been chanting what we might call jibber japa or jabber japa. Jibber japa is when you're chanting gibberish. You know, like that. No connection, not really chanting, just kind of getting it done for getting it done's sake, with no mood. And we know if we do that or when we do that. That's not really chanting, and we know it. And then there's jabber japa, which many of us know as well. And we might be quite experienced in that. You know, you got your japa mala on your hand, and you're going around, you're like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Oh my God, did you hear what happened today? Oh my God, you know what's going on with Trump? Oh my God, you know what's going on with, oh my God, these demons, you know, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Talking about all of the stuff of this world in between, but there's no connection to what you're doing. And I'll give a personal example. Many, many years ago, I had a fit of utsaha mayi, false spiritual enthusiasm. And now when I reflect on it, I can understand that it was not really true spiritual enthusiasm. So I would be sitting there with my japa mala in my hand, having a conversation with my grandmother across the table. And she'd be having a conversation with me, and I was like, talking, like my eyes were kind of glossed over, and my lips are moving, and I'm kind of chanting in my head, but I'm not really connecting to my chanting. I wasn't hearing anything she was saying. I wasn't responding to what she was saying, and we weren't even having a proper conversation anyway. And finally, she just got really frustrated. And it's quite interesting because you never know where or how Guru means essential truth can manifest. but one should listen for their Guru everywhere, Srila Prabhupada said. So she said, I'll just say, the devotee who asked, Prabhupada said, because they asked after you're gone, what do we do? And he said, you should listen for your Guru everywhere. And the devotee said, even in the bark of a dog. And Prabhupada said, yes, even in the bark of a dog. Try to understand and see and understand where the essential truth is manifesting. So what did my grandmother say? She said, it's useless speaking to you. You're not getting any benefit from your chanting because you're not focusing. You're not getting any benefit in your communication with me because you're not focusing. Our relationship isn't benefiting, and whatever you're doing there is not benefiting. So you're not doing anything. And she got frustrated and she just kind of vented on me like that. And I realized, yes, she's telling the truth. Of course, one should always be remembering Krishna, but sometimes there's a necessity for having a conversation. So when I would have a conversation, I would put my beads down and then I would speak with her. It only took 2 minutes and then I would go back. But that was an essential instruction, spoken concisely. And it was true. Even though she wasn't a devotee, but still she had been around devotees from the time my father was 17. And so she could see when something is good and when something was fake. And she was just like, you're not making any progress doing what you're doing like that. That's not helping you, it's not helping me, it's not helping anything. So that was my own personal experience, which I'm sharing, so that people understand I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about myself. So with this question, yes, we're not criticizing the chanting of 16 rounds. Mahaprabhu says one should chant their recommended daily allowance, and requirement, and he actually settled at a minimum of 64. But our Srila Gurudev explained that there is another meaning of the word lak. We hear this term lakpati. Most people think it means one who chants 64. Well, if I can chant 64, why don't I chant 3 or 5 times that? And then I'll be doing...
Utilized it in also how Mahaprabhu won't accept anything unless someone is a lakpati.
Yes. So, maybe I can chant 3 or 4 lakhs. Then I will be a lakpati. And in the words of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and others, and even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says Mahaprabhu won't accept anything, any offering, if the devotee is not a lakpati. So it has been translated that you have to chant a minimum of 64 rounds. But there's a much deeper meaning of lakpati. And even if you check the Sanskrit dictionary, you will find that meaning there. I actually did research because I was like, nah, I don't believe this. No way. My Gurudev spoke that another meaning of lak means one-pointed, exclusive, ekantic. This is lakpati, something which is completely one-pointed, absorbed. One-pointed and absorbed, which proves the point. You can chant millions of rounds, but if you don't have any exclusivity in your devotion, or one-pointedness in your devotion, conviction in the devotion, or any devotion, then what will it amount to? But one moment, one Shuddhanam, one pure name is sufficient to bring prem, to bring perfection. So to try to go deep into the moods, into the development of love and affection for Krishna, under the guidance of those who have love and affection for Krishna. Then when we're chanting, that chanting will become potent. That was one of the first things that Gurudev told me when he came to America in 1996. He came to Seattle, and he stayed in the place where we were living at the time. It was a sweatshop. We were manufacturing t-shirts, and then we would sell them in the daytime on the streets of Seattle. And so he came and stayed in that place for half a day, the night, and another half a day. And he gave a class in the evening and another class in the morning. And when he gave that class in the evening, he asked me, he said, do you know the difference between kirtan and sangeet? And I said, no. He said, Sangeet is technical ability. Sangeet is technical ability. And he said, Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. Technical ability. And then he said, Kirtan is transcendental sound vibration descending from Goloka Vrindavan into your heart. He said, after you receive Harinam, then your Kirtan will become potent. And so this is something that I have been meditating on, we have been meditating on for many years. And really it's a question of when. When, oh when will I actually receive? He's planted something in my heart. When will I receive Krishna? When will I actually respect him? Kabe habe bolo sedi nayamar aparadha guchi shudhana me ruchi kripa bale habe hridaye sancha. When, oh when will that day come? When my offensive nature will dissipate and I will develop taste for the pure name of Krishna. When will I receive Krishna? He said, after receiving Harinam, after Harinam, then your Kirtan will become potent. So I'm waiting for the day when that will manifest. Let's see. Doesn't look like we're actually going to read any more today from there because there's so many questions. What if we have no Shiksha or Shiksha Guru? Hold on, gotta go back a little bit. Okay. Prabhupada originally asked devotees to chant 64, but everyone said no. So then he went to 32, and then he adjusted down to 16. That's true. I remember hearing about that and learning about that. It means that we're lacking in a certain kind of qualification of steadfastness, but also there was so much work to be done. And that work required a lot of focus, distributing his transcendental literatures by the millions to the fallen conditioned souls of this world, going out on Nagar Sankirtan, means chanting, doing Harinams in the streets, and so many other activities. Full energy was necessary. That is the result of chanting anyway. Oh my Lord, please engage me in your service. So the result of all of that chanting was being given immediately by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And the result of that should be, if we're doing it properly without any material motivation, that when the opportunity comes to actually sit down and take shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu in the form of chanting his holy names, that there will be so much more concentration, so much more one-pointedness, so much more conviction. Our Gurudev told us that, he said, for the time being, he said, your preaching is your bhajan. Because we told him also, yeah, he said, your preaching is your bhajan. And we were like, what? So that's what we needed at that time, and until now, we have not heard anything different from anyone that we have placed in that same level of respect as our Gurudev, means Shiksha Guru, that now is time to adjust. Like Shamrani Didi, she was given an instruction from Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaja after doing so much seva outward, but her health was not so good. She was developing more taste in going deeper into taking shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu. And she told him that. And he gave her the instruction as her Shiksha Guru that he was very happy to hear that and that he was encouraging her in such a way. So when Shiksha Guru sees, then he can make adjustment according to our necessity, because according to Shastra, to see that there's a difference between Diksha and Shiksha Guru, this is actually aparad. If one actually is taking shelter of a real Shiksha Guru. What if we have no Shiksha or Shiksha Guru? So, Guru Tattva is Guru Tattva. The same process by which Diksha Guru manifests in our life is the same process by which Shiksha Guru manifests in our life. Two things, our tears and our sincerity, crying out to Krishna for his mercy with a heart full of sincerity. Srila Prabhupada said sincerity is the key. With a heart full of sincerity, that I have no qualification to detect what is what or who is who, but Krishna, please help me. Please be merciful to me. Please send me your own person to help me. He said our function, Srila Gurudeva Maharaj said, our function is to cry and to have a heart full of sincerity And the function of Krishna is to send Guru. That means either Diksha or Shiksha Guru, according to our necessity. And we will recognize the manifestation of our heart standing in front of us when that time comes. In the meantime, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says, Krishna is not a laborer in our garden that we can snap our fingers and say, hey boy, come here, like that. I've seen that in Fiji, how they would treat the people who are working for them. They would kind of treat them like that. Hey, like that. They would actually say it like that. Hey boy, like that. And you come here and do this, do that, do this, do that. So Krishna is not a field worker in our garden. Rather, we are servants of Krishna. So he won't come just because we say, you come here. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained that rather than having that mood, we should understand that we are servants of Krishna. And we should prepare ourselves by taking shelter of his names, by serving him under the direction of Guru and Vaishnavas, and make ourselves in such a way that when he chooses to show his mercy, to give his mercy, that we can receive it. So we have to make a proper excavation. Means clear out all kinds of impediments and prepare when Krishna's mercy will come. When he chooses to give it, that is up to him, according to his desire. So, Shiksha Guru will manifest. In the same way, when we read that first verse of Sri Guru Bhashtakam, Sangsara Davana Lalidhaloka Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. This is for Sri Guru. That means Diksha and Shiksha Guru. The jivas who are in this world are like animals trapped in a blazing forest fire. And that forest fire is coming from all sides. Someone just posted it the other day to me. They sent it to me on WhatsApp. Srila Prabhupada is telling the purport of, I think it was Bhajahoremana, or this verse actually. And there he was saying this forest fire is so big and it's coming from all sides. No amount of fire trucks or helicopters can put out this fire. It is too big, too great. But if one is crying to Krishna with a heart full of sincerity, Krishna is compared to the ocean. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho. That ocean, it can condense into the form of clouds. And those clouds can come over that forest fire and fully extinguish that forest fire. That cloud, that dense rain-laden cloud, the manifestation of the mercy of Krishna coming to rescue us and to extinguish our own blazing forest fire, that is Sri Guru, the form of the mercy of Krishna. Krishna Kripa Sri Murti, the form of the mercy of Krishna. So, when Diksha Guru departs from our vision, it's not like he has actually left our heart or that he's gone. If he is actually transcendental, assuming he is a transcendental personality, then when he departs from our physical vision, we should still cry to him and beg him or her for help. And when they send their mercy, that mercy will manifest, that same wine will manifest in a new bottle. Gurudev said it 1,000 times. Same wine, new bottle. That same substance will be there, but maybe the form will be different. And then we will recognize, yes, this is a non-different manifestation of my own Guru. This recognition will be there. I've heard the same story from at least 30 Prabhupada disciples, that they saw their Guru in their Shiksha Guru. And this is proper, this is Guru Tattva. So we should have no doubt, and we should have complete faith, that Guru Tattva is an eternal principle. That eternal principle, Tattva, is an essential, foundational, elemental reality which can never change. That means that we just need to approach that essence properly. Our mood, our sincerity, our tears need to call that mercy. The mercy is available. Gurudev said, my mercy is always flowing like the Yamuna River, but I see so many are dying of thirst on the banks because they're unwilling to drink. But it's flowing. So if we're crying out and praying and making that endeavor also, then when Krishna sees, oh, this one is really crying for me, let me help them. The extension of his hand to grab your hand, that hand of Krishna in essence is Sri Guru. So again and again and again, life after life after life, Krishna will keep coming. Janme, Janme, Prabhu say, he is my Lord birth after birth, in the form of Sri Guru and Diksha and Shiksha Gurus. Chaitya Guru in the heart manifests in those forms. So we should have no doubt whatsoever that anytime, any place, anyhow, Krishna can and will manifest Guru to us if we are actually sincere to receive that kind of mercy. Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj said that he never pressured anyone to take initiation from his Guru, because Krishna manifests to each individual according to their own necessity. So he would give all of the tools, he would give all of the essence of the scriptures, the Siddhanta, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all of those truths, and inspire within the heart of that individual, or those individuals who were listening to him, a desire to want to serve Krishna. Krishna Seva Vasanam. And then by that, Krishna will want to reciprocate and will manifest their Guru according to their necessity. And wherever that Guru needs to manifest. There was one devotee in Bhubaneswar, he wanted to take initiation from Srila Govinda Maharaj. And Srila Govinda Maharaj refused him and said, no, your Guru is somewhere else. Your Guru is in Vrindavan. It's not me. Your Guru is there. And sure enough, he found his Guru elsewhere. It's not that Guru is exactly one. There's individual speciality which one requires according to their own progress. I met on the same day Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj and Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. My Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj has glorified Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj as a pure devotee. Subsequent to my coming to my Gurudev, I developed so much more appreciation for Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, for Srila Prabhupada, for Srila Govinda Maharaj, and so many other Vaishnavas that I didn't have previously. So he increased and even gave that inspiration to appreciate them. But on that same day that I met my Gurudev and Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, my Gurudev pulled a particular sentiment from my heart, and that was, I can trust you, and I can bring others to you, and I'm yours. It just came like that. And then when I met Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, he inspired my respect, my honor, my faith. And I relished hearing what he had to say, but the effect was different. And it's not that he wasn't qualified to give me diksha or give me shiksha. He is and was. But my heart was particularly attracted to that manifestation, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And others were attracted particularly to that manifestation, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. So Krishna manifests in an infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others according to our individual necessity. So we should have no lack of faith in Krishna's ability to connect to us in the forms of pure devotees who will help us to awaken our love and affection for Krishna. So, I'm not going to say you should go here, you should go to him, you should go there. I always encourage that one should go here, deep inside, and cry to Krishna in the heart. Our Gurudev said this, Srila Govinda Maharaj said it, Prabhupada said it, all of our Shastras say it. And I've seen people who have said, oh, you should go here, definitely go here. And then they became disappointed, the other people became disappointed, they lost their faith because they placed their faith artificially. And they maybe encouraged others to place their faith artificially. There is a process that should take place. It's not just, you go there. that person needs to also examine to find their heart's sincerity and cry out. And then they will find the true friend of their heart. Sudhridam sarvabhutanam, that person who will bring them to their relationship with Krishna. Ask him why, how he can talk, or ask about someone or anything that doesn't actually exist on some level. Logically, that is quite impossible. I don't know. What's that relating to? Okay. Regarding having conversations with people who are trying to disprove God or anything like that, according to Mahaprabhu and according to our Guru Varga and according to our Shastras, one should not endeavor to, or one should endeavor to avoid having these kinds of discussions unless they're very strong on their path of bhakti, because this can create doubt if we have any weakness of heart. So Mahaprabhu says, Mayabhara bhasha shunele hoi sarvanash. One should be careful to avoid the association of Mayavadis or atheists. Mayavad is a covered atheist, because it will destroy one's inclination on the path of bhakti. So this is something it might be necessary in one's life, that one has some kind of affiliation or association. It's a roommate or a family member or this or that who has certain conceptions. But one does not need to open their heart in front of everyone or even have those kind of conversations if it's something which is disturbing or disruptive for one's one-pointedness on the path of bhakti. In that case, it may be better to talk about local politics or fires or whatever, but not to engage in spiritual subject matters, especially if someone has got a mood which is antagonistic toward one's own guru. Then one should not engage in spiritual discussions with them, because it can actually produce doubt in their Gurudev. Then it can disrupt their whole spiritual lives. So we should choose our association wisely. Srila Prabhupada said, why should we compromise? If we have the superior understanding, then we should not compromise and take that association, that lesser association. Is it getting late?
It's very late.
Oh, sorry. Is Nagar Sankirtan more important than personal japa practice? Ooh, what a question. And trust the Guru Kuli to come up with that one. Yes and no. Nam Sankirtan means in the street chanting. Haridas Thakur said this is the most powerful, the loud chanting of the holy names of the Lord. However, Haridas Thakur himself also chanted so much of his own personal japa. The first 64 rounds was out loud, the second 64 rounds was softly, and the third 64 rounds was silently. So yes, he said this is more beneficial. However, we need our own personal connection as well. So it's kind of like we need to brush our teeth and eat. And one of them gets food in our mouth, and the other one we have to clean our mouths. Both are necessary. And we also have to sleep. So it's not one or the other. It's all of the aspects of bhakti that are required if we want to progress. There's so many different forms of seva. So we don't need to be necessarily exclusive in terms of our process of bhakti when it comes to the point that all of these aspects are beneficial. Like having...
When we hear Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Kevalam.
You mean in terms of Nam, Rup, Guna and Lila?
That's what Srila Saraswati Thakur said.
I've already told that before, but I can tell it again. Sorry. So Sudevi's mentioning again that, like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam doesn't only mean the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, but it also means glorifying his forms, his qualities, and his pastimes. So we need to understand these verses from the understanding of the pure devotees, how they apply to us in our lives. So yes, chanting the holy names of the Lord is there, but then there's also cooking for Krishna, there's also cleaning for Krishna, there's also dressing Krishna, sadhu sangha, associating with Krishna's pure devotees, nam kirtan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, residing in the holy dham, serving the deity form of the Lord with love and faith. So all of them are included and necessary. So at certain times, like during parikrama, our Gurudev would say, if I see anyone on the side chanting their own japa and not joining this kirtan, then I will take your mala away. So he gave preference at certain times to the Nagar Sankirtan, or the loud congregational chanting of the holy names. And then at other times, we should also chant our japa. So they're not mutually exclusive, they're mutually inclusive. Oh my gosh. So it's getting late now. What's the time? Oh my god, I didn't even realize it was 10 to 8 our time. Please forgive me, I've gone way beyond, and there's so many questions, so I'm going to have to go back and review these questions, and hopefully tomorrow we can address some of them. Please forgive me for going on so long. Thank you. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupana Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Gurudev, Jai
Thank you very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity for remembering the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, and for asking so many pertinent questions on these very important issues for progression on the path of devotion. Also, thank you for engaging us in our Guru Seva. Without you, we would be lost, so we are indebted for that. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna, Radhe
Dandavat
Radhe,
Pranam.
Radha Vino Bihari Ju Ki Jai.